Get full episodes of The Damage Report as a podcast on iTunes and Android, and you can watch the live show every weekday on YouTube TV. Donald Trump is closing out his campaigning for the midterms with one of possibly the most racist political ads in recent history. Here it is.
I will break out soon, and I will kill more. Shit, I only said that pretend is a kill too. I wish I kill more of those motherfuckers. I will kill more cops soon.
Pedir un perdón.
He says he wants to apply for pardon for the felony he committed. Attempt of murder.
Okay, so there's a lot of issues with that. I mean, one, in terms of me being a person that operates on the internet, one of the things that bothers me the most is that apparently that originated on the Donald subreddit. So the president, who tweeted that out, by the way, that's not some random thing that's going around. The president himself has put his official stamp on that advertisement, if it even qualifies for that term, is trolling around on the darkest corners of the internet for his campaign material. And there he says, that's what he put with the video. It is outrageous what the Democrats are doing to our country. So what the Democrats are doing to our country, so that was Luis Bracamontes. Is he a Democratic official? Is he a registered Democrat? No, he's a random undocumented immigrant that committed a crime. And so apparently the argument here is, if there is an immigrant who has committed a crime, you can't vote for Democrats anymore. Now see, that would be ridiculous enough if we didn't have an instance where multiple hard right-wingers had just committed acts of political violence in the past few days in this country. And whether you think that the Tree of Life shooter was directly inspired by Donald Trump's sort of conspiracy theorizing around George Soros and random Jewish billionaires funding immigrant caravans and things like that, there is no disputing that the bombs, the pipe bombs that were mailed around, were sent by a devoted Donald Trump fan. So are we doing ads based around that? Is that what Chuck Schumer is spreading in the last couple of days? They could, and I think it'd be very fair, but they're not doing that. And then on the other side, they find a random murderer and say, it's the Democrats, they did it. So this guy got into the country, the Democrats let him in. What, did they open the door? Was it Democrat policies that did that? Donald Trump's been president for almost 2 years. They've controlled the Senate and the House for almost 2 years with a Republican president. And so I have this question to ask to Donald Trump's devoted fans out there. You are terrified right now, right? You're terrified of Luis Bracamontes. You're terrified of the caravan coming. Don't you think it's a little bit weird that you are horrified every second of what's coming over the border, even though you've got Donald Trump who promised to protect you? He's had Republican control of the Senate. He has had Republican control of the House. He's got a conservative majority in the Supreme Court. If years have gone by and you still have to lay awake at night in your bed, terrified of what's coming over the border, maybe Donald Trump isn't actually going to protect you. You think that's a possibility? The Democrats have no power whatsoever. If the Republicans wanted to pass a bill, they could pass a bill, and Donald Trump would, of course, sign the bill. The Republican majority of the Supreme Court would uphold the bill. They could have done any of that yesterday or a week ago or a month ago or a year ago. They didn't do it. Doesn't that seem a little bit weird considering all of their promises that Donald Trump was the only person who could protect you, that you still have to be terrified of individual undocumented immigrants? So that, I assume, is not going to actually break through. But in a larger sense, the context here is that that is an explicitly racist appeal. We've got scary brown people, so vote Republican. That guy, I'm linking a scary minority to the Democrats, so you have to vote for me. Now, we have had racist advertisements in this country for a long time. One of the most famous is the infamous Willie Horton ads, where they attempted to pin the murders of a black man who didn't even go by Willie Horton. They just called him that because it sounds scarier, on a Democratic governor at that time for a furlough program that was actually instituted under a Republican, but facts don't matter. So they had the Willie Horton ads, which were super, super racist, okay? Here's the thing, even then, in what up until this point has been identified as the most racist political ad of its time, they didn't actually spread it themselves, the Republican Party. They pinned it on a third-party group that put it out there. They didn't want to be directly associated with that racist advertisements. And even the crazed right-wing activist who put together that ad and helped to fund it and put it out there, on his deathbed apologized for his involvement in that sort of appeal. You're seeing there a little bit of it there. We are so far past that. The idea that a Republican politician wouldn't want to be affiliated with the advertisement, Donald Trump tweeted it out himself. Some racist ad that he found on the internet now has the official stamp of approval of the President of the United States. In the last days before the midterm, they have nothing left but voter suppression on the one hand and racist appeals on the other hand. That is what they think is enough to get them your vote. The question will be if it actually works, and I am hoping and praying that it does not. Thank you very much for watching this clip from The Damage Report. If you liked it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell on YouTube to get notifications of our new videos. And of course, you can catch the full Damage Report live every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific on TYT Network on YouTube TV.